Gucci good gamer.
Are you ready for the deep dive?
I am ready.
Okay, so for today, since when we're recording this on Saturday, tomorrow is Father's Day, we figured it would be a fun thing to talk about. All three of us are dads. All three of us are gamers. Finding the balance between those two.
Yeah.
Being a gaming dad.
Right.
It's kind of a challenge, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, you really got to find your time, balance that sort of, they say work-life balance, but I'm talking game-life balance.
Dad life balance.
Right,
Yes.
dad life balance. And if your hobby is gaming, I think it's particularly difficult because you're right there. It's not like if your hobby is basketball, you're gone out on the court. So there's not that, your child, oftentimes if you have a young child, they don't understand you're there, like why can't you play with them or something. So that's a bit of a struggle. But yeah, how would you deal with that situation?
So, real quick for context, I have a 6-year-old, and my partner is 36 weeks pregnant. So, and I know...
Yeah.
What you got, Brian?
I got a 3-year-old, and my wife is also pregnant. So
What?
Yeah.
What?
Wait, you didn't know that?
What? No. What?
She's almost done.
Yeah, August.
What?
So I have 2 in August, yeah.
What?
That's breaking news for Carl.
Congratulations, dude. What are you having?
A girl.
Whoa! That's amazing. Okay, cool.
All right, what you got, Carl?
I got a year and a half year old. She's a girl. A year and a half, yeah. So a little toddler tie.
So there's a little bit of a difference, but I mean it is hard. It is hard to find time to play games. A lot for me personally. I found that like online games are tricky. You gotta set aside time. Whereas with a single player game, if you have to do something as a dad, be it clean up whatever, or he did the thing, and there's stuff everywhere. You can hit that pause button. You're good.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I mean, I cannot do the multiplayer thing anymore because it's just like my rank,
Right.
And it's tough. It really is.
If you're trying to do competitive gaming, and I've been in this situation before where you're playing, and then something happens where like your attention is called to your child, and there's like a couple second hesitation. It's like, oh, but I'm in game, but then you're like, it's my kid.
Yeah.
So then you're like,
there's very clear priorities.
Yeah, but there's that like soul wrenching like, and people are gonna say, oh, you shouldn't have to, but like, come on.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't feel that it's like, obviously,
yeah,
let's be real. You're invested, and I make the right choice to go and have my, do what I need to do to take care of my kid.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that like there wasn't a part of me that was like, I wish I didn't have to.
Right.
So just like you, we make the decisions like, okay, well, we realize unless there's a certain time, we can't play those types of games. At least, if wife is doing laundry and, you're just chilling there trying to rank up in League of Legends. Like, okay, no, maybe throw some Pokemon on it or something.
Yeah. I think both of you guys have it pretty well figured out because you both have that little time slot at the end of the day where it's like, all right, kid's in bed, let's stream, let's game, let's do whatever. Unfortunately for me, because I have to get up so early for work, I can't really. He stays up later than I do.
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get up at 3:45 in the morning and telling a kid, hey, it's 7 o'clock. I need to play some games, go to bed. That doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
No.
So it's hard. I mean, most of the time it's just, I'm going to play this, and I opt to play single player games. But I do envy you guys a little bit.
I do envy you in the aspect of single player, though. I know that sounds funny, but to me, the multiplayer is easy because all right, I got 1 hour. Get up, play, be done. Walk away. And
We have a guest.
Oh, hey.
Hello,
Thanks for stopping by.
What's up, buddy?
He's like, we're playing some games.
Story-driven games, I get pretty immersed, and so I can't just play for an hour. I have to, and I deep dive, and I play, and I play, and I play, and it's, 1:30 in the morning. I was like, yeah, that's not the best decision. So, at least for me, it's a lot easier to get a multiplayer game and, just mindless fun. Just
Yeah,
boom, boom, boom,
when the
get
game
out.
ends, you can end.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a struggle too. I mean, finding when to say, okay, I need to stop. I mean, I was recently playing through Horizon, and trying to find those stopping points is hard.
Yeah.
I mean, if it doesn't have chapters, and even, you know, I remember one time I was playing Final Fantasy 15.
Mm-hmm.
Have you beaten it?
No.
Okay, well, I won't spoil too much, but there is a later chapter in the game that is significantly longer
Mm-hmm.
than every other chapter.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, you know, it's a chapter-based game. I'm just going to beat this chapter. I was up for till 2 in the morning.
Oh, jeez.
Because I was like, I'm invested.
Sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
one thing I am pretty excited about is my son is old enough now where he can kind of start to understand games a little better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've got 2 nieces. They're beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
They'll come up here and they'll look at the amiibos and be like, oh, that's Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here's a funny moment I haven't told you guys. So, my 2 nieces, one is, I think she's 4 and the other one's 2.
Mm-hmm.
The 4-year-old, she's very talkative, very enjoyable, and she's been a lot more interested in games than the other because she likes Mario Kart, she likes Pet Cross or Animal Crossing. She's terrible at it, but she likes running around and shoveling stuff. They were looking at the amiibo wall, and they were specifically looking at this Mario section here,
Mm-hmm.
and the 4-year-old pointing out to her little sister, she's like, that's Mario, and that's Peach, and she gets to Luigi, and she goes, that's Mario. I was like, no, my boy Luigi gets the bad end of the stick again.
Green Mario.
Green Mario.
That's oh god. That's
One of my favorite things to say is, yeah, that's Mario, and Luigi Mario.
yeah.
But
It's Luigi Mario.
it just hurt inside too much. I felt my soul like.
You failed.
You know who Peach is, but you don't know Luigi.
Well, she's a girl.
That's fair.
Yeah. So that's one thing. Like, I am very curious to see what it's going to be like when my daughter starts getting at that age, 4 or so. Because right now she's just 1.5. Every time I play, if I'm playing with a controller, all she wants to do is grab the controller and start mashing buttons. She doesn't know, like, she kind of understands that, look, okay, there's a game, he's got a controller that has something to do with it.
You're right.
So sometimes I'll give her a controller and she'll just be like clicking the buttons and then looking at the TV, but not really, understanding what's going on. So I'm wondering what it's going to be like, what I know like kids can grow up, but what's she going to do whenever I'm playing games at, 4, 5, 6 years old?
Right.
And is she going to be into it, or is she going to be kind of like whatever? I know my wife is like, no, she better not be into video games because she's afraid of like all the money. 'Cause video games can get expensive, sure.
Yes.
But she's like, don't do it. Don't do it.
I think one concern my wife had with the introduction of video games was more like, okay, what if he likes it too much and that's all he wants to do? You know what I mean? And I mean, that's a fair, valid point.
Right.
But I told her, me growing up, I had, Super Nintendo, but coming home from school, eat, and I played outside till it was dark, come back in and just finish my day off with some Nintendo or rainy days.
Yeah.
So I told her I'm not as concerned as I think she is because she didn't grow up playing video games as much as we did.
Mm-hmm. And the rule that, we had in the household was like, did you finish your homework?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, then do whatever you want.
Take care of business.
Yeah.
So I think we all had like kind of a natural balance. It was like, we'd go outside and play, and then nighttime or rainy days or whenever we would naturally find ourselves wanting something to do, then we couldn't go outside. That's what we did. So your child is 3?
Yep.
Have you tried?
There's been times where my wife's very big into mobile gaming.
Okay.
And so she'll have her stuff pulled up and it catches his interest. And so she'll just kind of tell him, all right, do this and do that. And so he's done that, but it doesn't grasp his attention that much. So once he does the thing, he's done. He's off doing something else.
I did the thing, like, because mommy asked me to do it, I did the thing, right?
Yeah.
Nice. One thing that's been really, really cool for me is with my nieces, Mario Kart. The latest Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, has the coolest feature for this because you can set it so that the character automatically accelerates. You can put bumpers on it so that they will never drive off the road. And the game kind of plays itself, but they feel that agency because when they turn the wheel, the character turns. You just don't have to worry about them running off the road all the time. You don't have to explain, hey, hold down the gas, nothing like that. They love it. Just, I'm winning.
Yeah.
And it's been really cool to see. And I think maybe you should you have a regular Nintendo Switch, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you just pop a Joy-Con off the side, set it up, for the kid. You could play with them with all the restrictions off. So you could smoke them and show them exactly who daddy is.
No mercy.
No. Keep them strong.
Listen, son.
Boy.
What about you, Carl? Is your daughter like pretty much into anything, or?
No, I mean, as far as games, like I said, I do a lot of like video editing, and you know, I'm learning coding, so I'm typing a lot of code on my computer. So she will always come and try to like press the keys,
help you out,
and help me out. So anytime I'm like gaming, she'll want a controller. Anytime I'm typing, I have a spare keyboard that I'll give her, and she'll just mash on the keyboard. And
she gets our YouTube URL.
Yeah. So she really likes that, and right now she's just kind of in the phase where she just likes to hold and press buttons and stuff.
Okay.
Like she'll like take my phone and like press the buttons on the lock screen and see that they move and light, and she's like, oh, this is cool, and she'll swipe around and just kind of see that it interacts with her fingers. Of course, she's still under 2, so we'll see, but I can very well see her being into gaming just by how much she always wants my controller, always wants my keyboard, always wants my phone, or whenever something's happening on a screen or something like that, some sort of input device, she wants to be a part of it. So I can see that for sure. But yeah, I mean, but the thing is, it's like, what am I going to be playing when she starts getting into it, and what about the time, right? Because if she's not interested, or, you know, finding the time to do that. So what I do now is, like you mentioned earlier, is I stay up a little later, and then once, 10 o'clock or so, generally, she's taking her to bed. So after 10 o'clock, that's my gaming time. I'm started to try to stream or game and stream around 8:30 or so we're trying to push that back a little bit. So they go to bed, I'm off to the games, and luckily I have a really wonderful and supportive wife at home, so she's like, go do your thing. So that's great. I'm super blessed to have that, because otherwise, I don't know. I know a lot of people kind of have some contentions and stuff. They're like, well, why are you doing it? Blah, blah. I don't know. I've never been in that situation, but yeah, very fortunate just to kind of block that time off. And I think that's the most important thing when it comes to gaming as a parent, is to setting time aside beforehand, because what gets a lot of people in sticky situations is when expectations are different. Right. So if it's just kind of get home from work and go straight to the PlayStation, and you don't, right, beep. Like that cover from Grand Theft Auto, right? Where the guy is playing and he's flipping his girlfriend off, and she's like over there, and he's, on his PlayStation. It's like, okay, sure, maybe that's not okay. You got to communicate with your partner, communicate with your wife, say, okay, I'll come home, I'll take care of, I'll take care of my daughter while the wife cooks, and we'll play. I'll change diapers, get everything ready. Then we'll eat dinner together. Maybe watch some TV, an episode. Our thing right now, we've been watching Ted Lasso. That's a great show. And we'll eat and watch that, and then we'll talk for a minute, and then it's okay. It's 8:30 or 8 o'clock. It's time for me to go start my stream and game. And, y'all have a good night. I'll be in there after a couple hours. And that seems to work out fine for us. And once a week or so, we'll do something, have my mom or somebody come and watch the baby. And as long as people don't feel neglected, whatever sort of ratio that is, I think you'll find success in gaming as a husband or dad. Things like that.
That's some sound advice, Carl.
Yeah.
I envy that. Maybe one day I'll be able to stay up late.
I mean, you can.
I can.
Technically.
Sleep.
Who needs it?
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Which will be sooner if you don't.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Yeah.
But it is getting exciting, having your child get older, having them starting to be interested in things, and having, one thing I loved when I was younger is my mother was very, very supportive of me gaming. Like, it was something we did together. And the idea of being able to recreate that with my children is exciting. Seeing what kind of stuff they get into on their own. That's one big thing about, one philosophy I have is I don't want to force it.
Yeah.
Right? You never want to force your child to do anything. You just want them to... You want them to teach you.
Right. You can provide options and opportunities and see what they take, but, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, video games? Question mark?
Maybe
with an actual question mark there. Like, and if they say, yeah, cool. And if not, okay, sure.
And it could just be your thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I'm excited to see exactly what they wind up liking. I know a lot of the games nowadays are a lot more technical than they were when we were growing up. I mean, you referenced the Super Nintendo. I mean, it had a D-pad and 4 buttons.
Yeah.
That was it. Now you've got, triggers on the back, and it's not exactly the most kid friendly. But the kids now, they've got the phones.
Yeah.
They've got the tablets.
Yep, those big, thick tablets with the rubber edges.
We've got some of those.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you have a child in your house. I'm sure, like, it's almost a requirement in America to have one of those. Do you have one of those big rubbery tablets?
Oh,
or have you ever?
Her iPad's in an OtterBox, and it's worked out well so far.
Yeah.
So it's still pretty well protected. No foam yet.
Okay. No foam?
Yeah, some of them have foam.
Oh, well, let's see.
Nerf, those Nerf covers.
Yeah, that's the one we've got. We've got the Fire tablet. That's like the kid version.
Yeah.
It's the blue, thick, like you could just yeet it against the wall and it'd be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, because let's be real, kids don't respect electronics.
No. They don't have that concept of like, oh, this will break, and
Yeah.
there's like rough with it.
Yeah.
They're very imprecise.
Rage.
They don't. See, as a tech nerd, it kills me to have those because I love sleek designs. I don't put cases on my phones or anything. I'll put a skin on it at most. I want that nice feel. And if I ever get bringing one of those into my household is going to make me feel like I've disrespected my entire life with this big chunky rubbery. Like, oh my god, I would rather just get her an iPad and she breaks it. Fine.
Oh man,
that's the thing. You buy that's what I did. With my laptop and everything. I keep my case real sleek on my phone. I have no skin or anything on my laptop. That is an Amazon Fire tablet. It was like $70. It is designed to be this ugly thing. It's not a case. It's part of the design.
Yeah.
So I can separate that for me as like that's your thing.
Yeah.
Like me, we're going sleek.
Yeah.
We're gonna have. I mean,
Svelte.
if I can, I had the Galaxy Note 5 had the glass back on it and stuff. I didn't have a case on it.
Yeah.
Eventually, it cracked, and I was really sad, but it didn't crack the front. That's what matters.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, geez, but yeah. So I mean, as a dad, you buy your kids these things, and I remember when I was a kid, the games I had. Of course, I had a Game Boy, like a Game Boy game. Just that was it. It was Game Boy.
Like
no advance or nothing.
Thick gray one?
Gray brick.
Oh,
but they
nice.
also had this company VTech. You know what I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about? They make a lot of kids' toys, and I had this VTech, and this is probably why I have 12 laptops right now. One of my favorite toys as a kid. It was a educational game toy, but it was like a laptop, like actual clamshell. It floated. It had a latch. It was like blue and red, and you had like math games on it. It had a big colorful keyboard, and you could spell and do math equations and things like that, and it was awesome. And it had like the screen on the thing was only like this big, but like the rest of it was like the rest of it was like a cheat sheet kind of thing, and it was really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, oh my god, I love that thing.
Things like that are going to be lost on the future generation too. It's hard for us, at least for me, because tablets are just slabs.
Yeah.
There's you can do anything on it.
They call them slates in Europe.
Oh.
They call it a slate. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Chic sleep.
Anyways, so you said slab.
But okay, back then we had objects designed with a very particular purpose. And one nice thing that, modern companies have done, like Amazon, they have kid mode that you can turn on, which helps and restricts a lot of their usages. You don't have to worry about, why is the bill $500? Oh, you bought every Fortnite skin. Okay.
You got all the V-Bucks.
Yeah. It's like you're a V millionaire now. But, with it's tricky because you get your kid a tablet, you get them a laptop, whatever. It's not, the kid thing. And I can see.
But they come loaded with all kinds of games.
Right.
And I guess so do you ever play any of those games with Bubby?
I mean, the only game he's really fallen in love with is Fruit Ninja, because it's real simple usually.
Right.
He likes that. He likes bubble popping games and things, very very simple games like that. But I've not really. No, he's not the biggest gamer. He'd much rather he wants to play outside.
Yeah,
on his own. He just wants to go run and be free with the dogs, which you can hear all the time in the show apparently. But we recently just got him a pool, and he's been loving it. On Tuesday, we're supposed to be getting a trampoline.
Boom.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, pretty excited about that. He likes outdoors, and that's totally cool. And we'll leave gaming to daddy.
Yeah. Well, cool. So, you mentioned a couple of times that, oh, you can't stay up at night, you gotta wake up early in the morning. What do you do to find time gaming? So I know me and Brian were in this situation where we can just kind of send the family off to bed and then go do our thing. Yeah. For those who are in your situation, what do you do to find time to game?
Here lately, I just kind of haven't been.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've got this beautiful PS5 that everybody in this room is envious of, and I can't even use it.
Including yourself,
Including
right?
myself, yeah. It's basically just it's set dressing at this point. Because I bought Ratchet and Clank, and it's Saturday night, I still haven't gotten to play it.
Ooh, wow.
No, my situation is a bit unique because my son's mother and I are not together, so she gets time with him, and when that happens, I will have some time to play. Or on the weeks that we do have him, late in the afternoon, maybe like 5, 6 o'clock, if he's hanging out in his room watching TV, I'll turn on something, and as long as it is plausible, we can play.
If it's possible, it's plausible.
How long till I blow up and everybody show love? How long until I'm laughing at my critics like told ya? How long till I grow up? Stop drinking till I throw up? How long until the devil come to collect on what I sold him? What actually happens when you drown genius in acid? What would my baby mama say if I make $1 million off this rapping? What would the friends I made in the Navy say if they heard CS2 snapping? What would the man inside the mirror say if he ever caught me?